Hello friends, my name is Raju. I am working as a lecturer in ECE Government Polytechnic for Women, Warangal. Today in this lecture, we are discussing about phase lock loop and voltage control oscillator. Here, phase lock loop. Phase lock loop. What is meant by phase lock loop? Here, it locks the phase. That means output phase equal to input phase. Here input phase is locked by the circuit. After locking, it traces the phase of the input signal. After locking, it traces the phase of the input signal. That's why it is called phase locked loop. The IC number for phase locked loop is LM565. LM565. Next we are discussing about voltage controlled oscillator. The IC number for voltage control oscillator is LM566. What is meant by voltage control oscillator? Voltage control oscillator is the output frequency is controlled by the input voltage of the circuit. Here frequency depends on voltage. The output frequency depends on voltage. That's why it is called voltage controlled oscillator. In this, it is the circuit shows the phase locked loop. The circuit shows the phase locked loop. Here input signal is Vs. Input signal is source signal is Vs. It's have the frequency Fs and it's goes into the phase detector. The first stage of the phase locked loop is phase detector. The next stage is low pass filter. Next error amplifier. Next the feedback. There is a feedback, that is voltage controlled oscillator in the feedback. Here voltage controlled oscillator input is Vc. The output of the voltage controlled oscillator is V0, F0. Here phase detector is the multiplier. It's in time domain. The multiplication of the two signal is converted to addition of the two signal in the frequency domain. So the output of the phase detector have the frequency Fs minus F0 and Fs plus F0. Then these signals goes to the low pass filter. Low pass filter output is, it's a low pass filter means it allow the low frequency signals and block the high frequency signals. A low pass filter allows only low frequency, that is which signals have the low frequency, that is allowed by the low pass signals. Here low frequency is Fs minus F0 and the high frequency is Fs plus F0. That way it allows Fs minus F0 frequency signal. It rejects the Fs plus F0 signal. In phase locked loop, the first stage is phase detector. What is meant by phase detector? Phase detector, it detect the phase. If an input signal frequency Vs of frequency Fs is applied to the PLL, the phase detector compares the phase and frequency of incoming signal to the output V0 of the VCO. If the two signals differ in frequency and phase, an error voltage V is generated. An error voltage V is generated. The phase detector is basically a multiplier and produces the sum Fs plus F0 and difference Fs minus F0 components at the output. Here the input to the phase detector is Vs with frequency Fs and voltage control voltage control oscillator output V0 with frequency F0. These two are goes to the phase detector. Then it multiply the two signals. Then there is a error signal generated. Then the difference between these two signals is generated at the phase detector output. That error signal have the frequency components Fs minus F0 and Fs plus F0. Fs minus F0 and Fs plus F0. This is the function of the phase detector. This is the function of the phase detector. Next, after phase detector, there is a block low pass filter. Low pass filter. The output of phase detector is applied to the next stage called low pass filter. Low pass filter. The purpose of low pass filter is to remove high frequency components, that is Fs plus F0, and it allows different components Fs minus F0 to reach the amplifier. So here low pass filter removes the Fs plus F0, which means Fs plus F0 is high frequency signal, that's why it's removed by the low pass filter. It allows Fs minus F0 signal, that is it have the low frequency signal, that's why it allowed by the low pass filter. Low pass filter. Then in PLL the next stage is error amplifier. Error amplifier. What is the function of error amplifier? The difference component Fs minus F0 is amplified by the amplifier and then applied to the voltage controlled oscillator, then applied as a control voltage Vc to the Vc1. So when the input signal comes, it have the very less magnitude. It travel in the air, then the signal is weakens. That's why if you want to increase the strength of the signal, we compulsory amplify that signal. Here output of the low pass filter signal is Fs minus F0. Fs minus F0. This Fs minus F0 signal amplified by the error amplifier, and it gives the output Vc, voltage control voltage. This control voltage drives the voltage controlled oscillator. This is the third stage of the our phase locked loop PLL. The next stage is voltage controlled oscillator. Voltage controlled oscillator. What is a voltage controlled oscillator? The output frequency depends on its input voltage. The voltage controlled oscillator is a free running multivibrator and operates at a set frequency F0. F0 called free running frequency. It's have the frequency F0. The frequency is called free running frequency. When the signal Vc shift the Vc frequency in a direction to the reduce the frequency between Fs and F0. So here Vc produce accordingly Fs minus F0 difference is reduces. Fs minus F0 reduces, then the output frequency matched to the input frequency, or in output phase matched to the input phase, then the circuit is locked position. Once this action starts, we say that the signal is in the capture range. When the Fs minus F0 difference is reduces, that process is called capture range. That process is called, so the circuit stage is in capture range. Once this action starts, we say that the signal is in capture range. Voltage control oscillator continues to change frequency till its output frequency is exactly the same as the input signal frequency. When the output signal frequency equal to input signal frequency, then only the circuit stops the capture range. The circuit is then said to be locked. When the output signal frequency is equal to input signal frequency, then the circuit condition is locked. The circuit condition is locked. In locked condition, phase detector generates a constant DC level which is required to shift the output frequency of voltage control oscillator from center frequency to the input frequency, center frequency to the input frequency. Once locked, PLL tracks the frequency changes of the input signal. After locking, it traces the change in input signal frequency. And it output signal follows the input signal. Thus, PLL goes through three states, that is means free running state, capture range, and phase lock. So these are the different blocks of the phase locked loop. What is the different blocks? There is a phase detector. The first stage is phase detector. The second stage is low pass filter. The third stage is error amplifier, and there is a feedback voltage controlled oscillator. In this way, the phase locked loop works. And next we are discussing about block diagram of PLL. What is the block diagram of PLL? The figure shows the block diagram of PLL. The PLL IC number is 565. IC number is 565. The IC 565 PLL consists of phase detector, amplifier, low pass filter, and voltage controlled oscillator. In the slide, there is a R1 C1. Are the external resistors and capacitor connected to pins 8 and 9. Capacitors, resistor and capacitor connected. The value of R1 is restricted from 2 kilo ohms to 20 kilo ohms. Here R1 value is in between 2 kilo ohms to 20 kilo ohms, but the capacitor value is any value. Here pin 8 is connected to resistor R1 through the positive voltage plus VCC, and 9th pin is connected to capacitor C1. Next, a capacitor C2 connected between pin 7 and the positive supply pin 10 forms a first order low pass filter. Here capacitor C2 and pin 7, capacitor C2 connected to pin 7 and pin 10, which is power supply to the circuit, that is plus VCC. It acts as a low pass filter. Here the low pass filter have the internal resistance of 3.6 kilo ohm. Internal resistance of 3.6 kilo ohms, that is connected between the amplifier output to the 7th pin. Here the value of the filter capacitor C2 should be large enough to eliminate possible oscillations in the voltage controlled oscillator. So the CT value is as much as greater, then we remove the oscillations in the voltage controlled oscillator. And here the output of voltage controlled oscillator is taken at pin 4. Here taken at pin 4, voltage control output at pin 4. The phase locked feedback loop is not internally connected. Here the phase locked feedback loop is not internally connected. It is necessary to connect output voltage control oscillator pin 4 to the phase comparator input, pin 5. Next, voltage control oscillator frequency is adjusted with the changes in RT and CT values. If you want to change RT and CT values, then the frequency of the voltage control oscillator changes. The phase detector compare the phase difference between the input signal and the voltage controlled oscillator signal, and then produces a DC voltage proportional to that difference, Fs minus Fr. The DC voltage is then amplified and applied through a low pass filter. To control the input voltage, of the voltage controlled oscillator. This voltage adjusts the output frequency of the voltage controlled oscillator until it matches the input signal frequency. When the two frequencies match, phase lag has been established. If the input frequency changes, the voltage out of the phase detector changes. Thereby, voltage controlled oscillator frequency to track the input signal. The center frequency of the PLL is determined by the free running frequency of the voltage controlled oscillator, and it is given by F0 equal to 1.2 divided by 4R1 C1 H. 1.2 divided by 4R1 C1 H. Here the values of R1 C1 are adjusted such that the free running frequency will be at the center of the input frequency range. Center of the input frequency range. Next, we are discussing about voltage controlled oscillator. We are discussing about voltage controlled oscillator. What is mean voltage controlled oscillator? The output frequency depends on input voltage. The output frequency depends on input voltage. Then it is called voltage controlled oscillator. Here the slide shows the pin diagram representation of the voltage controlled oscillator. The IC number is 566. The IC number is 566. Here this is dual in line package form. Dual in line package form. It have the head 8 pins. First pin is ground. Second pin no connection. Third pin square wave output. Fourth pin triangular wave output. Triangular wave output. Fifth pin is modulating input. Sixth pin RT. Seventh pin CT. Eighth pin plus VCC. So this is a very important. Again we explain the LM566 IC is dual in line package form. It's have the 8 pins. First pin is ground. Second pin is NC no connection. Third pin is square wave output. Fourth pin is triangular wave output. Fifth pin is modulating output. Sixth pin is RT. Seventh pin CT. Eighth pin VCC. A common type voltage control oscillator available in IC form. IC number is 566. Here a timing capacitor CT is linearly charged and discharged by the constant current source. Here the slide shows the block diagram of the voltage controlled oscillator. Block diagram of the voltage controlled oscillator. What is my voltage controlled oscillator? The output frequency depends on input voltage or output frequency controlled by the voltage. This is called voltage controlled oscillator. The amount of current can be controlled by changing the here the different blocks are constant current source, buffer, schematic trigger, inverter, and there is a RT and CT. The two resistances there, RA and RB. The amount of current can be controlled by changing the voltage VC applied at the modulating input, that means pin 5. At pin 5 we change the modulating input VC, then the current is controlled. The constant current source is controlled by the modulating input VC, or by changing the timing resistor RT external to the IC. So here we change the amount of current by the RT value. We change the RT value, then the current will changes. Or if you want to change current by changing the modulating input Vc. Modulating input Vc. The voltage at pin 6 is held at the same voltage at pin 5. At pin 5, here pin 6 and pin 5 have the same voltage. If the modulating voltage at pin 5 is increased, the voltage at pin 6 increases, resulting in less voltage across RT and thereby decreasing the charging current. If you want to decrease the charging current, then you increase the modulating voltage Vc. The same voltage applied at the 6 terminal, then across RT current flowing is reduces. If 6 terminal voltage increases, the effective current is reduces. The effective current, if modulating voltage Vc decreases, then at 6 terminal voltage also decreases and the current is increases. The voltage at pin 6 is held. So the voltage across the capacitor Ct is applied to the inverting input terminal of the schematic trigger via A2, schematic trigger A2 via buffer amplifier A1. Here A2 is schematic trigger, A1 is equal to buffer. Buffer means it does not change the input signal but delays the input signal. So here across the capacitor which receives the voltage, that voltage is applied to the schematic trigger. The output voltage swing of the schematic trigger is designed to VCC and 0.5 VCC. It is designed between the VCC and 0.5 VCC. If RA equal to RB in the positive feedback loop, the voltage at the non-inverting input terminal of A2 swings from 0.5 VCC to 0.25 VCC. So here swing is 0.5 VCC to 0.5 to 0.25 VCC. When the voltage on the capacitor Ct exceeds 0.5 VCC during charging, when the capacitor voltage Ct exceeds 0.5 VCC during charging, the output of the schematic trigger goes low. The capacitor now discharges, and when it is at 0.25 VCC, the output of schematic trigger goes high. Since the source and sink currents are equal, capacitor charges and discharge for the same amount of time. Here again we repeat, when the voltage on the capacitor Ct exceeds 0.5 VCC during charging, the output of the schematic trigger goes low, that means 0.5 VCC. The capacitor now discharges, and when it is at 0.25 VCC, the output of schematic trigger goes high, that means positive VCC. Since the source and sink currents are equal, the capacitor charges and discharges for the same amount of time. This gives a triangular voltage waveform across Ct, which is also available at pin 4. The square wave output of schematic trigger is inverted by the inverter A3 and is available at pin 3. Here we calculate the output frequency of voltage controlled oscillator. Output frequency of voltage controlled oscillator. The total voltage on the capacitor changes from 0.25 VCC to 0.5 VCC. So here capacitor voltage changes from 0.25 VCC to 0.25 VCC to 0.5 VCC. So what is the change in voltage? Delta V is equal to 0.5 VCC minus 0.25 VCC. So delta V is equal to 0.25 VCC. The capacitor charges with a constant current source. The capacitor charges with a constant current source, delta V by delta T. Delta V by delta T, that equal to I by Ct. I by Ct. Here what is the delta V value? 0.25 VCC divided by delta T equal to I by Ct. Delta T equal to 0.25 VCC into Ct divided by I. Delta T is equal to 0.25 VCC into Ct divided by I. So the time period T of the triangular waveform equal to 2 delta T. The frequency of oscillator F0 is 1 by T. F0 equal to 1 by T equal to 1 by 2 delta T. 1 by 2 delta T, that equal to I by 0.5 VCC into Ct. 0.5 VCC into Ct. Here I equal to VCC minus VC by RT. VCC minus VC by RT. Finally, VC is the voltage at pin 5. Then F0 equal to 2 into VCC minus VC by CTRT into VCC. F0 equal to here 2 into VCC minus VC divided by CTRT into VCC. Here the graph shows the different waveforms at output pin 4 and schematic gear output and output at pin 3. Output at pin 3. Here triangular wave output at pin 4 is triangular wave. This triangular wave is converted to the square wave. At a schematic gear output. So in voltage controlled oscillator we get the two waveforms. At pin 4 we get the triangular wave. At pin 3 we get the square wave. At pin 3 we get square wave. So here we get the triangular wave and we get the square wave. So this is the block diagram of voltage control oscillator and the output waveforms. This timing of the time period of the two waveforms depends on the RT and CT values. RT and CT values. Next, lock range and capture range. What is meant by lock range and capture range? First of all, lock range. When PLL is locked, it can track frequency changes in the incoming signal. The range of frequency over which the PLL can maintain lock with the incoming signal is called the lock range of or tracking range of the PLL. So when PLL is locked, it can track frequency changes in the incoming signal. The range of frequency over which the PLL can maintain lock with the incoming signal is called the lock range or tracking range of the PL. What is capture range? The range of frequencies over which the PLL can acquire lock with an input signal is called capture range. Again we repeat it. What is meant by capture range? The range of frequencies over which the PLL can acquire lock with an input signal is called the capture range. Next we are discussing about applications of PLL. So where we use the PLL circuit, there is a different applications of PLL. It is used in FM detector, frequency modulation detector, in AM detector, amplitude modulation detector, AM detector, FM detector, FSK demodulator, frequency shift keying demodulator. Next, frequency multiplier. Next, we used in tone detector. Next, tracking filter, frequency translation. So again we explain what is the application of PLL. It is used in FM detector, AM detector, FSK demodulator, frequency multiplier, tone detector, tracking filters, frequency translation. So thank you very much.